The views, comments, and opinions of the following program do not necessarily reflect those of Morris Media Studios, MorrisMediaLive.com, or its affiliates. Listener discretion is advised.
Yo, we're back. Boy, we miss you. It's your boy, Keeler Roden Jr. We got so much to cover, but before we get started, I want to introduce my lovely cast. First, starting to my left, we have the lovely Miss Amanda.
Yes, Amanda Michelle.
Oh, I'm sorry. we make sure we give all acronyms and aliases. And all the way to my far left, we have the lovely Miss Aspen. Is there any extra middle name with her?
Aspen McCarr, if we sticking with the A's, A.M. up in here.
We gonna come back to that next time. And we have a special guest, you guys. This is my brother, my friend, one of my friends for the last 10 plus years. He's in the house, Mr. Leon Anderson. We're going to discuss why he's here in just a sec, but he is going to give his insight, his opinions, and his emotions to the content that we're getting ready to cover. From now, let's dig right on into it. Aspen, what we got?
So having said that, let's get into it with what's the beef. How many of you have been royally upset because you feel Democrats procrastinated in moving towards impeaching Trump? Okay, me too. If y'all don't want to answer, me too.
I'm in that group with you. I'm in that group with you, for sure.
Well, as a result of his recent use of mob-style tactics to help him in the upcoming election, things have gotten pretty heated. Let's hear what the Speaker of the House of Representatives, Nancy Pelosi, has to say regarding the socially unjust behavior demonstrated by our Commander-in-Chief, President Trump.
The actions taken to date by the President have seriously violated the Constitution, especially when the President says, Article 2 says I can do whatever I want. For the past several months, we have been investigating in our committees and litigating in the courts, so the House can gather all the relevant facts and consider whether to exercise its full Article 1 powers, including a constitutional power of the utmost gravity, approval of articles of impeachment. And this week, the President has admitted to asking the President of Ukraine to take actions which would benefit him politically. The actions of the Trump presidency revealed the dishonorable fact of the President's betrayal of his oath of office, betrayal of our national security, and betrayal of the integrity of our elections. Therefore, today, I'm announcing the House of Representatives moving forward with an official impeachment inquiry. I'm directing our 6 committees to proceed with their investigations under that umbrella of impeachment inquiry. The President must be held accountable. No one is above the law.
Period.
Now, don't everyone jump in with I told you so's, but what are your thoughts on that?
He should have been impeached.
For sure.
Long time ago.
Sure.
I mean, but they tried though, right? And it just wasn't going through or something like that?
You know how I am with this government stuff and policies, because they sure was trying to get your boy. They was trying to get your boy Bill out for some crazy stuff, and he out acting
Bill, I can't lie.
Complete fool. So I don't want to comment on this one. I think he should have been impeached. I don't even see how he got elected. That's another topic of conversation. Yeah. So sure. I'm kind of right there. So when they talk about impeachment, he got like another year and a half. So we impeach him, we get the vice president, and he ain't no better. So what we gonna do?
I think anything is better than Trump, though.
Really? Really?
Yeah. I mean, he said Article 2, I can do whatever I want.
He's been
what president ain't been able to do whatever
like this is nothing
They
new.
don't say that.
True.
That's the thing.
Yeah, he is a more outspoken.
Like, but somebody on Twitter.
Somebody posted on Facebook. They said they rather have Reagan than Trump, and I personally disagree.
I didn't know Reagan, so I can't quite give a true opinion.
But you can read about him.
Yeah, of course. I can read about anyone.
All right, so you read about Reagan and Reaganomics, and then we can talk. Trump he's one of those. He's just always got something to say. So he don't really bother me on that. I mean, he does bother me. Don't get me wrong. He's crazy.
I think he bothers America.
Yeah,
he for sure bothers me.
And I think because anyone who actually know what they're talking about in politics, because I'm not one of those people, they disagree with Trump also. So it kind of influences me like, well, you guys know what you're talking about, and you don't even like Trump. And even Republicans are starting to kind of like pull
wait,
back.
This is unethical.
Like, he can't be doing something.
I mean,
right.
like how he is doing with this upcoming election makes me wonder what tricks and what power tools did he use for this last election that he so-calledly won, evidently.
All of them.
Well, I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, for more on justice, with the mass shootings across the country most often being fueled by racism, Kevin McAleenan, the acting secretary for the Department of Homeland Security, recently stated, and I quote, "The continuing menace of racially based violent extremism, particularly white supremacist extremism, is an abhorrent affront to our nation, the struggle and unity of its diverse population, and the core values of both our society and our department." McAleenan further stated that white supremacy has no place in the United States of America, and it never will. Okay, Kevin, you're absolutely right. But white supremacy is here. Like, where is it going?
America is white supremacy.
Right,
really,
that is the
entire foundation of it is.
I had a conversation with a guy today, and he's from Lebanon, and he was just saying he wasn't introduced to racism until he came to America.
Wow.
And that I said, well, he was like, yeah, either you like a person or you just dislike a person over there, or you're not attracted to them or whatever. You don't like their personality. It's never like, he's in this group, he's white, he's black. Like, they don't identify anything like that. I was like, wow.
Well, seeing as how the United States was founded and built upon white supremacy, until this fact, there is a resulting atrocities are recognized as this country's foundation, nothing will really ever change. Our thing is to make sure that our voices are heard. We have to do the best thing that we possibly can do is to make sure we're at these voting polls.
Yes.
Yesterday was National Voter Day registration, and as a millennial, others expect us to be so self-absorbed and we neglect participating and making decisions. They feel like all we do is riot and throw cars and get mad and protest and things like that, which is partially true. We
working on it.
We don't take no, we don't take no prisoners. But I feel like this generation has shown another resurgence of the voting and knowing what it means to vote, especially when you have people like Trump in office who's just coming off saying whatever they want. Oh no, we can't have this.
Absolutely.
When you look at when Trump won, you see how all those white women voted for Trump, and he's pretty much said some things totally against Caucasian women, and they regret it. So it's like now we gotta.
But will they do it again?
Will they? That's the next question.
Vote for this time?
So what I want to do is I want to hear those who paved the way and laid the foundation to say millennials regarding our right and our duty to vote. Check it out.
Let's see.
Dear young people,
don't vote.
Don't vote.
Everything's fine the way it is.
Trump. That was us.
He's our guy.
Tax cuts for the rich? Hell yeah. I'm rich as fuck.
Climate change? That's a you problem. I'll be dead soon. Sure, school shootings are sad.
But I haven't been in a school for 50 years.
I can't keep track of which lives matter.
Sure you don't like it.
So, you'll like some meme on Instagram.
If the weather is nice, maybe you could go to one of those little marches.
You might even share this video on Facebook.
But you won't vote.
You young people never do.
But I do.
I do.
Midterms, primaries.
Every single election.
We'll be there, but you won't.
Because we're a generation of doers.
Not whiners.
And we're doing great.
Okay.
That was informative.
Yeah,
that was funny. I thought that was a little funny.
That was cute.
Aspen, was how you feel about that?
I definitely feel like everyone needs to get out and vote. I definitely think that we have not been showing up the way we could have been to avoid some of, maybe, I don't know if it may have avoided Trump from being elected or certain things like that, but I know our generation feels like our voice does not matter, and our voice does matter. One vote does count, and I think that we have been, African Americans, when I say we, and other races, but I'm speaking specifically of African Americans right now, have been a targeted audience for years. And now because other races, such as, probably white people now are experiencing being targeted. And so now they want to come out, and it's a problem. But this has been an issue for like years, like for my ancestors, for my grandparents. So now that it's a problem because now they are getting the other shoe on the foot and getting that experience.
Yeah, they want people to vote. And we should vote. I've been guilty of not voting in some of the elections that I should vote in. I voted for the president every time that I could. But, you know, we just really have to get out of the mindset that if I don't vote, it won't matter, because what if 1 million people are saying that? Right. And that's 1 million votes that the person that we want in office didn't get.
See, I wasn't old enough to vote for President Obama on his first term.
Me neither.
And
but
his second term, I still didn't vote.
I voted.
The reason why I'm like, he gonna win. I mean, like, come on. I don't even need to. Now, I voted on other things.
That was a lot of confidence, bro.
Yeah, but I knew he was going. I mean, look,
I wasn't sure the second time.
Look, he was going up
give
against
a black man a
and
second
they're not about to
try.
get the first black man one and done. They definitely gonna have to see how you
I
get
wasn't
to
sure. I didn't know he was
that is true, though.
I thought against was it Mitt Romney? Yeah. I was scared.
No, it was. Was it Mitt Romney? No.
McCain was first,
McCain was,
right?
but I knew he was gonna win against McCain. I'm like, dog. No, it wasn't McCain.
It was Mitt Romney then, the second person.
Let's look it up. This is why we have.
I'm pretty sure I'm
social.
right.
You sure?
That's why we have quick Google.
Right.
Wait, was it?
I'm not 100%, but you know.
No, I wasn't
for sure. I definitely McCain. Like,
well, you keep going. Let me find out who it was.
Okay. Well, White Supremacist is the camouflage title that America's first gangbangers, y'all. They were the first ones.
Wow.
Yes. Before the Crips and the Bloods, there was the Ku Klux Klans, the Redcoats, and the Bluecoats, all fighting for territorial dominance. To make sure their sets and colors live on, our country legalized the formation of organized terrorist gangs within the ranks of those who have sworn to serve and protect y'all. Mm-hmm. That's the cops.
Yeah.
So recently, several officers within the LA County Sheriff's Department filed a lawsuit against fellow cops for beating and nearly choking them to death. The victimized deputies claim the culprits belong to a gang known as the Banditos. And here is a photo of them. So the Banditos control the East Los Angeles Police Department and have done so for almost 50 years. As you can imagine, at that time, the police officers in East Los Angeles were white. In 2014, police officers who belonged to this gang were accused of demanding sex from LAPD recruits. Like any other gang, members of the Banditos all wore the same tattoo, which had a skeleton wearing sombrero, a bandolier, and a pistol.
Wow, that sounds like something I saw in a movie where everybody had a tattoo on them and they were like a part of this murder ring or something.
Yeah. You talking about Hostel with the little dog when they was when they was
it's all of the gangs, like that's the whole typical thing. You get a tattoo.
But the police.
All right, for real, y'all need to do y'all research. Y'all really need to do y'all research because, like they said, they were the first gangbangers. Like, and
the KKK.
We to try and protect ourselves, we got into the Bloods, the Crips, and all of that to protect ourselves against them.
I know for sure. I mean, I've had my rights taken a few times in my life, and you know I'm better now. So, and I've seen the way the sheriffs move, like inside the jailhouse, and you can tell it's this own little bitty community. But you'd be surprised how sheriffs on this side of town don't get along with sheriffs on that side of town, and they have their own little small units. So for that to be, you know, Banditos going straight to Latin American culture and things like that, that's their own sect. But the sheriffs have already gotten in trouble for their little small. The FBI didn't been investigating them
for sure.
Yeah,
they got internal affairs for sure.
When internal affairs coming, that means it's some shady stuff.
But there's
going
like
on.
maybe a click in internal affairs. Like we just
it can be.
Hello.
You talking about B613
so
stuff?
now,
I ain't trying to get kidnapped.
It's unfortunate.
That's a full scandal.
Yeah, that's a full Harrison. We have a problem.
But it's handled because I'm a living.
But it's handled.
All right, Amanda Michelle.
I'm about to say put that Pope on there.
For sure.
Wait, that was actually a perfect segue to our next topic of conversation. Yesterday, the grand jury rendered its decision in a local case many have been awaiting. Unfortunately, criminal charges will not be pressed, like always, against LAPD officer Sandoval Sanchez. And she's photoed here. He shot and killed an unarmed special needs man, wounding his parents as well. We also have a photo of his parents and a video clip that we'd like to share. Look at that, a great family.
I am not condoning the shooting. I'm not up here saying it was fine. That's not what I'm here to convey to you.
But Riverside District Attorney Mike Hestron today did say he is accepting the grand jury's decision. no charges will be filed against off-duty LAPD officer Salvador Sanchez.
File charges despite what the grand jury did. I'm not going to do that.
And when I asked why?
This grand jury was attentive. They worked hard. They asked appropriate questions to our prosecutors, and they heard all the evidence that we have.
And they concluded Sanchez should not be charged with a crime. They also saw this video, a video that was shown for the first time today public. It does not show Sanchez, who had been knocked down by this time and was on the ground. The man being pulled down on the video is Ken French, the one who was killed. We have frozen the video just before the shots were fired.
He believed he had to use deadly force to protect his son and himself, and he fired the amount of shots he believed was necessary.
Ira Saltzman, the attorney for Sanchez, also said that his client said to him, quote, thank God, when he told him he wouldn't face any charges. Even though the video doesn't show it, no one is disputing the fact that Sanchez had his child in his arms at the time that he was hit in the back of the head by French and knocked to the ground. And from the beginning, his attorney has said that Sanchez felt that his life was in danger, that he thought he had been shot, and when he saw French hovering over him, he opened fire.
They're very disappointed, and they're very hurt, quite frankly.
Attorney Dale Gallipo represents the French family.
Because I felt if ever there was a officer-involved shooting that supported criminal prosecution, this was it.
And about the criticism that police officers on or off duty simply will not be prosecuted in a shooting?
We have to put that aside and look at the specific facts. That's what the grand jury did. So we don't respond to public pressure or public outcry or social media rants. We just don't.
Also, they confirmed that it was almost 4 seconds, 3.8 seconds to be exact, from the time that the officer fell to the ground and opened fire. His original story was that he was knocked unconscious, but apparently that is not true, and the grand jury went on that evidence that he was not knocked unconscious. Yet they decided no charges were filed. As for Sanchez, he remains on paid leave from the LAPD. I contacted the department. The simple answer was that he remains on paid leave. They're conducting their own investigation, which is yet to be completed. Reporting live from Riverside, I'm Dave Lopez.
So, Miss Pope, B613.
Yes, I'm going to call my guys as soon as I step out of this podcast, and we're going to get that handled.
Right. Yeah, we need to do something.
Yeah. So I have to put my heels on.
Well, listen. Outside all that, we got to talk about what's happening in entertainment. And y'all know how entertainment has been for the last month or two. Mm-hmm. First up, my boy who needs to chill, Mr. Antonio Brown.
We were rooting for you.
Listen, black man taking all losses right now. We was recently released from the New England Patriots after a second woman accused him of sexual assault. He's already been accused of raping his physical trainer, Brittany Taylor. Here's a photo of Brittany. By the way, I thought she was white and I didn't know her name was Brittany. So when I saw this, I was completely shocked. But that's a sidebar. And so he's been accused of raping her on 3 separate occasions, twice during training sessions and once when Taylor was at Brown's house watching TV. Afterwards, Brown supposedly bragged on social media regarding the sexual encounter. Brown is also accused of exposing himself to an artist he hired to paint his mural. These allegations were leaked in a story published in Sports Illustrated. Unfortunately, such behavior has become so prevalent that NFL players have turned to one another for guidance. Let's listen to advice from none other than Mr. O.J.
The man
Simpson.
himself. Okay.
And now today, finally, New England releases Antonio Brown. I guess you could say you saw it coming. I almost texted Antonio a week ago. I want to give him a little bit of advice that some of the greatest legal minds in America gave me. They told me that when you're in a civil or criminal litigation and you're the person they're coming after, the best thing you can do is say nothing, be quiet, essentially shut up. And if his lawyer didn't give him that advice, he should sue that lawyer. Evidently, he didn't. In any event, I don't have to worry about that anymore. He's gone. I wish I would have sent him that text a week ago. I'm just saying, take care.
Okay, I got a few things to say. Number one, why do you even have O.J. Simpson's number? He is the last person I need to have a cell phone number.
I'd like to have his number.
For what?
We could just, chop it up, talk about
something.
How to get away with murder, huh? Now you went from Olivia.
You went from Olivia
to Vanessa.
The glove
Keaton.
didn't fit. I don't know what happened.
Wow. Okay, so here's my thing. Now, as far as accusations, this is a tricky thing. Me being a man, I'm being biased, and I have to respect women who deal with sexual harassment in the workplace or whatever the case may be. So I have to say this. First things first. I want to know, if this is going down with Antonio Brown, why the NFL still got Big Ben playing and he's been accused on 2 separate occasions?
It's not just sexual assault. Like, he has misconduct a lot. Like,
that's cool, but Big Ben raped these women.
No, I get
2
it.
separate, and he's still playing. Matter of fact, God intervened and took him out for the season, for this entire season. So my thing is, where was all this media outrage? Now, Antonio Brown, I feel like he got some mental, emotional things going on. And the first woman, I don't know about his Picasso lady, but his trainer, her story is kind of little, because like,
they had many videos.
Yeah, y'all doing y'all thing.
Yeah,
First off, why are you training at his house? Like, if you I don't know.
That doesn't negate.
Yeah. That does not negate. That does not negate. And so I don't know. I wouldn't take. I mean, well, he would be a good person to take advice from because he did get away with.
And who don't want OJ?
You get what I'm saying? But then OJ is like, the best thing to do is keep your mouth shut. I'm like, but bro, you wrote a whole book saying I would have done it
after the case was over.
But
you're right. Double jeopardy was out.
He might got a point over there.
Exactly.
Bro, you might be on to something, man. I thought he was still in jail. I didn't even know he was out.
OJ got on out.
Forgive me.
OJ wins.
So, ladies, how do you feel knowing, having to struggle with that type of situations on and I pray you guys don't, but having to go through that as a woman in the entertainment or just life, period, being a black woman at that, how do you feel about whether she could be possibly telling the truth or she just trying to get that bag? Even the Mural, all of a sudden, as soon as somebody else come out, now you have the edge to come out and say something.
I think it's unfortunate that you just never know the truth. They always say it's 3 sides of the story. Right. We'll never really know what happened between them. So all we can do is choose whose side we want to take and who we want to believe, because he honestly could be telling the truth, even though his record might say that he's that kind of person. But then she could be telling the truth and we don't want to blame the victim. So it's kind of just like everybody loses.
I think that I'm not going to, like I said, choose sides, but I know that if someone sexually assaults you, you don't put yourself in that situation with them more than once, and not over a year to 2 year time frame. We're talking about 2017 to 2018. They've had
been working out.
Right, and I was an athlete for the majority of my life up until 23 years old, and none of my physical trainers, had plenty of them, ever stepped foot in my house. That was always something that was done in the vicinity. So honestly, I felt like they already breached that line between business and pleasure. So whether it was assault, consensual, you put yourself in an environment where it seemed consensual. You're on Facebook, Instagram. Hey, we're having a great time.
But then you get bashed for saying things like that. Oh, she put herself in an environment where it seemed consensual.
I'm not saying, but I'm, where is the statute of limitation? We're in 2019,
in my mind, as a man, first off, ain't no woman coming to my house training worth of nothing. I need a male trainer because come on, that's too personal.
Well, that's what I was about to say.
You have a woman.
If you can I have no problem with women trainers, but I'm gonna go to your studio or everybody's ad, or I'm gonna go to a collection of things. Something has to. The paradigm has to shift because of the times we live in, but also because of natural human nature. Because you might be working me out, and I have my wife probably. If I had a wife, she probably wouldn't be going for that. No way. She coming to the house? Oh, so what time to work out? And she already putting on her stuff. You get what I'm saying? Because y'all know how it goes. So
what do you think about this, Leon?
Well, I think it's an unfortunate situation, of course, for the women, because I believe in everything that you guys said. Even if they do tell the truth and they went to court, that's not to say that the truth will actually come out. Right. The unfortunate thing about it is he's not convicted, but he's not playing football. Right. And he has a God-given talent. Yeah, and that talent may not see the NFL anymore. So I think it's just a messed up situation, all sides. For the women, it truly is unfortunate because us on the other end, because of his stature, we are looking at it like, oh, well, he's of this, so he couldn't have done this. But it's a possibility that he could have, and I think that is just an unfortunate situation all around.
I read in some article it was saying the NFL goes by some quote, I can't remember it verbatim, but basically like talent always wins. So they were saying he's gonna come back. He's too talented. They was like,
I don't know. I thought that with Mike Vick. And,
I thought with the Patriots, he got his second slate.
Because their whole owner got accused, got in trouble with a whole sexual trafficking situation with a minor at that. So when it comes to money, but they let you know how it go when the skin is a different glow. So you know.
Yeah, cool. But okay. So another celebrity that needs to for sure chill is Kevin Hart, y'all.
Oh man.
He was recently, y'all know, involved in a car accident that nearly cost him and the 2 passengers involved, addition to himself, their lives. Man. The events surrounding that one car crash, including that's horrible. Oh my God. Including Kevin Hart's behavior immediately after, were both questionable and suspect. According to witnesses, Kevin Hart left the scene of the accident and he evidently walked home. Approximately 2 hours later, his wife, Aniko Hart, called 911 saying that her husband wasn't coherent and could not move due to something bulging out of his spine and some fluid. So I don't see someone who's, like that walking home.
You'd be surprised when you're adrenaline rushing, though.
What do y'all,
So it depends on how far you live. And when you're adrenaline rushing, I had a recent accident in June, and I knew before I went to a shock, I knew how much energy I had before I just started completely losing it. So I was making calls and trying to get everything. So you'd be surprised. But it depends on how far his house is. Like, bro, you made it all the way.
I mean, you walked in your like a spine, like that is your whole body, like a pathway to function. Like,
no, absolutely.
How do you
I passed
walk?
out, like, so I get what you're saying. I don't know.
On that,
got beamed up. I don't know.
We'll never know.
Right.
Unfortunately, that's not the end of the story. Kevin is now facing multiple lawsuits from the injured passengers who were in the now demolished vintage vehicle due to it not being equipped with seatbelts. Come on, they needed seatbelts.
Wait, a $500,000 car?
To keep the vintage feel of the car, so he opted out.
Those cars back in the day didn't come up with.
So he totaled it the day after he got it because he loved it so much.
Well, no, not airbags, but most cars came with seatbelts.
Well, obviously these didn't have seatbelts.
Yes, it was an old car.
And as if that's not enough.
Who was driving?
But they say he wasn't driving.
Allegedly.
Why they suing him? Because he chose not to get the car equipped with that stuff. And they're also looking into the automobile place that he got it from, that he got them
right, because that's illegal.
Yeah, you can't make cars.
You can't make a car with no seatbelt and no airbags. Like, that's illegal.
Wait, is the airbag with vintage cars?
No.
Where are the airbags going to be at?
In like 1970, where you
there has to be a law. Oh, I didn't know that.
And for sure, seatbelts.
He didn't expect the crash.
What do you think about it, Leon? About this situation?
Another unfortunate situation. That's what it seems like is going on around right now. That a lot of it is new knowledge to me. Actually, I didn't know that it wasn't no seatbelts for vintage cars. Airbags are not of the norm of those older cars. But for it to not be a seatbelt, my boy is probably in some deep water. So good luck, Kev. Because that's all I got to say.
What else Kev going through?
I mean, that ain't enough. Look, he's also in hot water for videotaping a sexual encounter with Mantia Sabag. We also have her photo here. Yeah. That was his mistress.
Come on, Kev.
Look at his face.
We might have to hashtag that one. Come on,
that's a great meme.
Here we go.
Sabag previously spoke about her tryst with the married actor in 2017 during an exclusive interview with Daily Mail TV. Mantia said Hart was sober when they filmed, and she had no idea he was married to Nico Paris.
All right.
Well, they posing.
She was also 6 months pregnant at the time.
Wait, what
did he just have on the ring?
Right and there, he was posing.
No, she knew he was.
That's a pure
and she's
Unless
posing.
She came from Australia,
like for the camera.
She said she's an actress.
A model too.
And a model.
Yeah.
So
his entire last couple stand-ups has been about him going through divorce and get girl.
And then
she thought they were still in the dating process.
He got a whole
and a baby. And
on Instagram.
He had the ring on her leg.
Right.
Go back to that picture. I want to see that picture again.
First off, I didn't roll it back.
Right there, boom.
She like, young. Getting money.
And she's posing. She said she didn't know they were filming, but they're posing.
Nah, you know what she did. Okay. First off, he must really like her because he cheesing, taking pictures.
I mean, that's Kevin Hart, though.
Hello, intoxication. Come on now. He probably was not sober.
Yeah, tryst is the new word I also learned.
Private room.
Okay.
All affairs should be a private. That's why it's called an affair. But okay.
No. Okay, that's okay. So for more of you guys to chill, now for really, really young voices making choices. What's up with all the bullying and like the tabloids and stuff?
Man. I don't know.
Here is an unfortunate clip that's been headlining of a 13-year-old boy who lost his life as a result of bullying.
Wow. A remembrance ceremony will be held tonight for a 13-year-old Moreno Valley boy who died after being attacked at school. We've also just learned that the district attorney's office has filed juvenile petitions now against the 2 accused students, charging them with assault. Eyewitness News reporter Mark Cota-Robles is in Moreno Valley with more on the emotional vigil that was also held for the teen victim.
Many young students are heartbroken. Their parents asking what's going to change after the fight that led to this 13-year-old boy's death. Tonight, they'll have the chance to gather once again for a remembrance ceremony here at Landmark Middle School.
Diego, we all miss you. My prayers go to your family.
Students wiping away tears spoke last night at a candlelight vigil for their classmate.
We all miss you, Diego.
It was just yesterday they all found out the 13-year-old was clinically dead after being beaten by fellow classmates. The attack caught on cell phone video. Today, a somber morning as students walked past a growing memorial outside their campus gates. Most stopping to read the messages addressing the violence on a campus touting itself as a bully-stop school.
We should be more protected, like have more security guards around. Well, right now we just have 4, I think.
Now you know how it feels! At last night's vigil, upset parents booed the superintendent. They want more information about what happened, and they want a plan for how the school is going to crack down on bullies and make it safe.
Wow. He looked like he walking into a court case or something.
Yeah, that was tough. Yeah. I think with bullying, being a father and having, grade school children, we come from a different generation. We used to box, but I don't remember ever really seeing people getting allowed to be bullied in the hood. Like either it's a one-on-one or so how they just watch them. Especially you can tell that he didn't defend himself.
Right.
Yeah. And where I come from, somebody would have jumped in like, nah, bro, this ain't even it. Right. But I think this new generation of oppression is just like we want to I don't know. It's sad. And then the little boy said, we want more security, and it's a contradiction because you want more security, but you don't want the schools to look like jail. Or, you get what I'm saying? So it's sad that a 13-year-old, a 12-year-old, 11-year-old has to even come up with these type of scenarios in their head just to be able to go to school. So
and what kind of aggression do the bullies have built up to beat somebody to death?
And what is his prosecution? Like, what's going to happen to him?
Another unfortunate situation.
It's going to be a manslaughter. It's probably juvenile manslaughter or things like that. But I don't know because he's real young.
Yeah, and it was unfortunate because I think in the article it said that the parents had, before this incident, wrote to the school and asked them to do something about the continuous bullying, and then now
this young man?
At this school. At the school, because you saw that it's like a bully stop. The parents of that school. They were concerned because evidently this is not their first incident of.
How do they have those signs up saying it's a landmark for no bullying?
And then
that means they got a serious somebody.
They have a serious problem there. Clearly,
that district about to get sued.
So what are the actions that are going to be? Clearly it's time to stop talking about it.
Sure.
And so what are the actions that now this school, this president, this principal, or whoever is in charge of making those decisions, what are they going to do?
Yeah. Bullying is lame. Go ahead.
And I think when you have that young generation, you got to be proactive. I mean, those signs are there for a reason.
Yeah.
And I mean, looking at that whole situation is sad because a young boy is going and then another young boy will lose some time of his life. Whatever, the courts decide to give him or not give him because of his age frame. He's not going to go home to a regular life for a little bit of time. And who knows how that will change his mindset too.
Right.
Growing into whatever he grows to, who knows if he'll become a statistic of the system.
Yeah. So our hearts and our prayers is to the family of Diego.
For sure. One of our viewers hot commodity, said it's a lot of parents on meth in Moreno Valley. So I guess she was kind of stating that maybe it's a reflection of.
Oh, that's Kanae. Shout out Kanae, girl. Good looking. You already bought your ticket. Cool. Good to see you. All right, I'm sorry.
Shout out Kanae.
You know what I do. Hey, what's up, girl? So our hearts and prayers are to the family Diego, to the whole Moreno Valley situation, to any parent who child might go through some bullying, to all students, schools, teachers. If you're listening, we need to get a cap on this bullying thing.
Yes, we do.
Because kids are dying, they're taking their own lives. I've never lived to see the day where a 10-year-old, a 9-year-old has the capacity to hang themselves because of bullying at school. So that's where we're in. And I'm gonna make it quick. I seen an article today that they tied down this little girl and cut her dreadlocks off. So that might be for next week. We'll bring it up next week. But I literally read that today, and I'm thinking as the dad. Yeah, I'm going to jail. So I don't know. However this is going to work, you're going to have to, it's going to be another situation. So we are totally against bullying in any type of form or fashion. So we're going to move on. As always, you can expect YVMC to deliver content and information to improve the quality of life for those we love, which includes you. And that's why we invited Mr. Leon Anderson to join us.
Thank you.
It's good to have you. First, Leon, man, we want to say thank you for lending your voice to tonight's topics, and what you brought to the conversation was very meaningful and impactful. And it's always good to get a new face and get a calm, serenity voice in this place. But can you tell our viewers just a little bit about yourself?
Well, as they just said, I'm Leon Anderson, of course. I'm a writer, director, producer. I have my own production company, Sam 7 Productions. We highlight in film and theater. And I started in 2014. Everybody always say, with a dollar and a dream. We didn't even have a dollar. We just had the dream. So, we went from making our sets with cardboard boxes and everything else. And now we've been able to do some youth conventions and travel a little bit. And now we making a little headway for ourselves. And it was created, for those people who stand online, 300 and 400 people at audition who may only be there to get one role. I was sitting with one of my friends and I said, man, you know what? We write, we direct. Why don't we just create it ourselves? And that's how this came about. So
I need to give you my information.
For sure. We're taking all this. So I'm gonna make it quick. First off, I'm a part of Sam 7 Productions, and we have a major show. Our last LA show, Love LOVE. Next month, October 25th at 7 p.m. at the Bristol Auditorium in Bellflower, and we want to just show you guys a clip of Love. Now, I'm going to brag on my boy. This has been my friend for 10 plus years, my brother. We talk almost every day. I probably talk to him more than I talk to my own dad. And he's a writer, producer, director, but he's also a father. He's also a husband. He's also a good friend. He's a businessman. And I've watched him. I remember that he was an artist, a music artist, and God shifted his paradigm and shifted his way and his will to make him right. And writing turned into theater, and writing turned into plays and movies and things like that. And we've sold out the Stella Adler Theater on multiple occasions. We've been to Atlanta. We did West State. So we've been moving, but we're still humble enough to go do a youth convention and give back to the kids for maybe the last 4 or 5 years. And so we're not, and I watch him work, and I tell him all the time, I don't want to be an actor. I just act, but I believe in this man's dream, and that's why I'm here 100%. And so we want to give you guys just a little bit of what you can expect, but I need everybody to buy their tickets to Love LOVE October 25th. We have a special final LA showing. But check out this clip. When your grandmother used to send you to the store to get a Pepsi and a cigarette, you kept the change and you came back home and you had
I used to thank God for the love that you was giving. Then you brought more sides to the table than Thanksgiving. I guess you couldn't appreciate the love I was giving and forgot that God made me your mate, not your mate.
You are the seed, the creation, the image, the son, my son. You are me, and I am love. So how long will I love you? How long will I love you? How long will love love you?
Yo, go. So that, I believe, was that our first showing of Love?
That was the first showing, which was 3 years ago.
That was 3 years ago, man. So we did Love at the Stella Adler Theater, 3 days, 3 nights, and we sold out every single night. And it was more than just a play. We had music. We felt the crowd's energy. We had poems and things like that. And so we brought that back after 3 years, and that's probably our most requested production that we've done from friends and family. I always say bringing Love back. So we're bringing it back for LA. And look, pop up, we got some of the cast members for Love next month. And actually, I know these two very well, so I'm going to start to my left. Ladies first. This has been my sister since I think I was like 10 years old, man. Really? Her dad practically raised me. We have the beautiful Miss Gabby Trimble.
Hello.
Hey, and she's an actress. Tell us a little about yourself, Gabby.
I am an actress. I started maybe 2010. I went to college for something completely different, and then I actually stood in for someone during a rehearsal, and it struck me, like it hit me, and like a knife, and I was like, oh, I have to do it. My parents were like, what? We paid all that money? But I was like, no, acting is my life. Like, I can't. So yeah, I love it. I'm so happy to be a part of the production. It's going to be dope.
Okay, and to my right is my boy Montoya. How you doing, man? Tell us what's up, man. What's good, man? Oh, looking fresh inside. I see you, bro. I see you.
Yeah, but I go by the name Montoya. I'm an actor, a designer, clothing as well. I started off with playing football. So I was in football. I played high school, I played college, I played a little professional and everything like that. And, just like everybody, God didn't have that in my plan. So after I stopped that, I just wanted to be creative. I'm just a creative person. So I got into designing clothes. I have my own clothing company. And then I just met you guys, and it's been all uphill from there. I love it.
Y'all already know me, Akilah Roden Jr. I'm in the flesh. I have a lot of different gifts. Acting is one of them. And actually, me and Leon met at school, and he was a music artist. And
which was a while ago.
Which was about 10 years ago. Wow. Man, we've been friends for a long time.
Yeah, we've been holding down.
He was, like I said, he was an artist, and he had this great show, and I went to every single concert that I could make it to. I actually performed in one of his concerts as a dancer, so it was great. And then one time he was like, bro, I'm doing plays. I'm like, yeah, all right. And then I just started coming. And I wanted to be a part of it, but it seemed like I always hit and miss, like, I guess, when he was doing it or whatever. And then one time I got a call, and it was probably like a month out from the next production. And he was like, bro, some stuff happened. I need you. And I literally was like, I got you. And I've been rocking with Sam 7 on that level ever since. And it's gone on almost 4, 5, 6 years. And like I said, I'm not an actor. I guess I have the gift for it. But I do believe in making opportunities for people like Gabby, seeing people like Montoya, just to be the word of mouth to get the people on. And I also believe in this man's dreams. Like Gabby said, she went to school for something totally different. And then she fell in love with acting. He was football. And he fell in love with acting. And Leon said that earlier. He said that I wanted to create a space to have opportunities for people who might not have the opportunities that are presented to other people. Because sometimes you don't want to stand in those long lines. You don't want to have to be online and casting calls and things like that. You got a guy right in the neck of the woods who's creating content for us. So we might not have all the financial backing. We waiting for it though, praise God. But we might not have all the notoriety. We waiting on that, praise God. Yeah. But one thing we do have at Sam 7, I've seen it in this man's work ethic, is the heart for the gift and the heart for the art, and just to be able to make a way for people like these people you see to my left and my right. So I'm gonna turn it back over to Lee. Not only do you man, you got so much going on, man. I've been seeing a lot of the business side recently. I don't know how to act. I'll be like, man, don't call me with no more business, man. Just tell me tell me when rehearsal is, man. Tell me when is the show? When is the play?
It's a lot of hats being worn right now.
I want people to hear what it's like on the grind of presenting this type of company, because like I said, you're a husband. Yep. You have 2 beautiful daughters.
Yeah. What up, boo?
You get my nerves. But I want them to understand, from working security and working in Target and places like that, and then to really pick this up, to really grind, like without no financial backing. I know people hear about it. We read about it in like the likes of Tyler Perry and things like that, but I literally know this guy. I know where his mama stay. I know where his daddy stay. And he's around the corner, and he's really pushing this dream, and it's positive. It's not. He's not your typical artist. He's not promoting the typical. I don't want to say negative, but the typical hip hop culture, the typical arts culture where Black people represent. He's putting on something positive, and he's not. What's the word I like to say? He's not selling out. That's the word I like.
We can't do that.
We can't sell out. So I want the people to hear the tenacity that you have to have on this type of of level, man?
Well, I mean, first thing first, man, is for me, I always say I take it to the spiritual aspect. I know everybody's not tapped in, but if you're not, I suggest you do and get to know him for yourself.
Y'all know I bring believers on voices.
I say tap into the spiritual aspect of it because anything and everything that you do should be in the will of God, number one, and it should be in you finding your purpose. If you don't know what your purpose is, then nothing is going to fulfill you like that will. So hearing the stories, how everybody, were doing other things, and then this is where they're at now. That was the same thing for me. When you met me, I was doing music. I had no idea of writing no play, nothing like that.
Yeah.
All the stories that I told, I put it in music form.
Yeah.
So when I was doing okay, I just dropped a mixtape. I had a good team behind me. I should have been happy. And I was like, this ain't it. And I remember working that job, doing security overnight, and I had the terrible schedule. I was working from like 8 p.m. to 4 a.m. Who puts people in that kind of shift? I don't know, but it was my shift. And I just remember sitting at that desk every day and just praying to God, like, man, this is not it. And I was like 22 at the time. I was like, this not it. If this is all you got for me, I don't know how long I'm gonna be on this earth. That was my real, intent. And I always laugh and say, man, God probably be getting tired of me because I'd be like, man, God, this ain't it. What you want me to do?
Yeah.
But at the same time, he gave me what he wanted me to do. Amen. And I was sitting at that desk, man, and I was writing something else just to pass the time. And I remember it like it was yesterday. I wrote Heaven Sent, Heaven Sent, Heaven Sent on the paper, and that was my first play.
Yeah.
So from writing something else just to pass the time to saying that prayer and then God being like, do this.
Yeah.
So what I would say to get to this point, man, you just got to have perseverance, man. You just got to know that what he's called you to do, he never said it was going to be easy. Nobody ever said you wasn't going to go through trials and tribulations. But he did say, for I know the plans I have for you.
That's the word.
You feel me? So for him saying that, that's what keep me going. Is it tiring? Absolutely. Do you want to quit sometimes? Absolutely. Do you get tired of people? Absolutely. Yeah. But at the same time, when people come to the shows and they give us, what they got from it and they tell us how they blessed their lives, those kind of little golden nuggets keep us moving along. Yeah. I just say, man, you got to have the tenacity of perseverance and just not quit. Don't listen to everybody that's trying to talk in your ear. They'll talk you out of your dream, talk you out of your purpose, actually.
Yeah.
But just because they didn't do it don't mean that you can't do it.
Yes, sir.
So that's the main thing for me, man, just trying to stay on that path. And when God says it's over, then I'm going to fold my hands and say, all right, that's it.
All right.
Yeah.
How does that, Montoya and Gabby, how does that make you two feel? This is your first Sam 7 production that you guys. Well, I'm sorry, Toy. This is gonna be your second, but we'll get to that later.
Yeah.
But this is your stage. This is your first stage play. But to hear somebody, when you guys said you guys are both making sacrifices and about what you want to do, what you call to do. Gabby, you went to school for something totally different, and then boom, you fell in love. And Toya, you was trying to get that NFL first round draft pick. But
talk to
you fell in love, and that still can come. But hearing that and how he has the same type of testimony that you guys have, that though you're going for one thing. And I always tell people, don't go to college because you're going to college. Go do what that makes you happy. I tell my youth at my church, other churches all across the city, I said, whatever you can't talk about, what you can talk about more than 5 minutes, and you don't get passionate, when you don't get ready to just blow up in this, that's what you're supposed to be doing for the rest of your life.
You actually said that to me the first time I met you.
Say that again. I told you the first time I met you. Y'all know I'm the preacher of the group. I ain't had no mic time in a while, so I gotta give my little preaching nuggets. But I want to hear, Gabby, you first, and then Toya, you go next. I want to hear, how does that make you feel knowing that you this is happening for you and somebody has created an avenue for you that you can be a part of for a sacrifice that needs to be made?
Just as you said before, like I went to school for something completely different. And even though, you don't have like the typical actor story where you're struggling, working paycheck, I don't have that yet. And still, I know that my direction changed when I was in my mid-20s and I'm like trying to figure it out, you know? So knowing that struggle and then working with and supporting somebody who understands passion. Because I feel like a lot of people do things for a paycheck, or a lot of people do things because it's cool, or why not? But when you're doing something because it's your passion, so if I know this man will struggle and he will sacrifice to get something done, why would I not put my all into that project? Because I know that he's going to put his all into it. So I'm not in it in vain. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So when you have like minds with the same goal and the same passion, how can it, even if it's not what you want, it does not fail. So you might not have that goal you were looking for, but you know you're not failing, because then you're just going to keep pushing. Because there's something way more than a paycheck and the clout and all that. Hunger and drive and your desire, especially how you said when God is in it, you do not fail. You do not stop. It might switch directions. It might change. It might alter. You may become weary. But in the end, you know it's for a purpose and it's for a reason. And even if you don't understand what that reason is, you're going to keep pushing. So that keeps me driving to rehearsal far. Leaving work early.
We in the boondocks.
But I'm like, ooh, I can't.
It's gonna change.
But still, regardless, the passion to want to do it. So yeah, I know he's depending on me to show up. He made that plain in the beginning. I need you here. And not because of my passion and my desire, I'm going to be there because I want to be there. He's counting on me to be there. And when you have people like that, all in like unity and on the same like goal, it's going to blow up. Not for clout, but it's going to blow up for God. It's going to blow up for vision. It's going to blow up for art. It's going to blow up for whatever you need it to blow up for.
Could I brag on her real quick, too?
Man, hey, hurry up so we can...
I'm going to hurry up. I'm going to say real quick. You got to bring it, bro.
She over there had the organ cracking. I'm like,
but she actually is killing it. She is the co-star in the play. And I'm very, very pleased with the work that she putting in. I'm just saying it on camera. We got rehearsals tomorrow, and I'm going to still be back at, hey, wait, we got to hit it like this. But she is absolutely killing it, and she is the co-star of this play. So she bringing that work, man. So get your tickets.
Toya, come on, make it quick, man, so we can get to the next video. This is your second one, right?
Yeah, that's my second one. Basically, just piggybacking off of her. When you identify with somebody, it's very easy to understand what they're going through and do what, and you want to be as helpful and not in the way, you know, when you're dealing with somebody. So like, exactly, I'm big on when I meet somebody, feeling their energy. So like I said, first time I met you, you gave me that whole speech, so I already knew you was coming from somewhere different than a regular person I meet on the street. First time I met Leon, it was just different. Like that speech that he first gave when he did his speech, like it was like Lobo put a tear to my eye. It put a tear to my eye because, like, you know, when you hear other people say stuff, like I heard that he was like, you know, he did music and everything, but that's, you know, everybody does music type thing. But when I actually heard him, I'm like, oh, this boy bad. Like, and so when you have somebody that's leading your project like that, it makes it way easier. All I got to do is show up and act. Oh, that can do that. Right. Because this man got to do everything. Everything. And I just want to be the best person I can be towards him, you know? So it just makes it easy.
He's being that person. Hey, I'll tell you, I'm bragging on my folk, man. They doing what they need to do, for sure.
Okay, yeah, well, let me go real quick then, since we all giving testimonies. Shoot, I mean, I'm YVMC, you know what I'm saying?
That's right, your voice is making choices.
Nah, but honestly, I just really love supporting good things, man. Y'all know me. You know me. You getting to know me. I got kids. A lot of them.
I was about to say kids.
You said it with us.
Watch it. Hey, hold on. Mind y'all business. All right, but my kids, they like I said something. I think I was on the phone with Leon's right hand man, Josh. He's in the studio with us too.
What up with it, Josh?
We were on the phone and I said, and this is no shade to my father, but I never seen my dad's gifts. Does that make sense? I've never seen what my dad is good at. I know my dad to go to work, come home, take care, you know, provide for the family. And so my children get to see me and see others in their gifts.
But I think that comes with just different generations. Like his generation didn't go for their dreams.
But you know, like, my dad played music, or my dad did this, or my dad, you know, he like I've never seen it. So my kids at my young age, they're in the trenches with me. They're seeing me come to rehearsals, and they come to rehearsals with us. They eating food, they loud, they crying, and whatever the case may be. So if I'm willing to make that sacrifice for something like that, like that's how you know my heart is. And I told you something straight up, like, hey, bro, whatever it is that you love, that's what it is. I called Gabby like, hey, I got another, and I remember Gabby acting years ago, and I'm just thinking like, who can I bring to the table that's going to care not just for the role and the opportunity or the money, but wants to change their life and their perspective. So if I think Sam 7 does anything else, it changes hearts. And y'all know the only other person that I know that changes hearts is my man Jesus Christ. So I gotta say it like that. So we in the business of changing hearts
for sure.
Before we go, like I said, October 25th, 7 p.m., the Bristol Auditorium, Bellflower, California. Please get your tickets. We will have all information at, what is it, Jamie?
I got you.
You got it? I don't know all the particulars, y'all.
www.jmicreativearts.com under the Sam 7 Productions tab. One more time. www.jmicreativearts.com under the Sam 7 Productions tab.
And if you're following Young Voices Making Choices, my producer, my people, we're gonna post a flyer. We're gonna post everybody's Instagram together, and so you guys can shoot us. If you guys need physical tickets, we got them. If you want to buy online, we got those too. Yep. Please buy 2 or more. We want it packed out.
And since it is Young Voices Making Choices, we even got the Millennial thing. We got the Cash App if you need that.
Yes, sir. we do Cash App. But listen, I told y'all we've been talking about stage plays and things like that. I didn't tell y'all that my boy Sam 7 Production, Mr. Leon Anderson, has delved into the filmmaking. So if y'all didn't know, we said we bringing this play back after a few years. If you guys didn't know, Sam 7 has been on a hiatus for going on 2 years.
Yeah, man.
We had some major emotional setbacks, and we all need to regroup. And during that regroup, instead of just sitting down, wallowing in his stuff, Mr. Leon Anderson went to film school.
Yeah, man.
And even in film school, God is still making a way. So can you briefly tell us what happened in film school? And we're getting ready to show, I believe we're getting ready to show a piece of one of his films that's actually in an award or is getting.
It's about to get one.
It's about to get an award. So this man is doing anything. This is the next John Singleton. Y'all rest in peace. This is the next John Singleton. The next,
the next Leon Anderson.
Next Leon. I'm about to say somebody else, but it's too much connection to that.
That's right. We take John and roll.
We take John. Rest in peace, John. We take John and roll. But give us a brief synopsis of this filmmaking way from stage to film, and then we're gonna play the clip, and then we're gonna get ready to bounce, y'all.
I got you for sure. So when we was doing stage, that's the thing. Like I said, I'm always looking for the purpose and everything, and I knew that at some point I wanted to tell stories in a different platform, and I knew film would be next. I knew that in the beginning when I first wrote the first play, but I never want to dabble in too many things until I know this is that. So when we got the theater good down pat, we feel like, all right, we know how to do that. I went to film. It's funny, man. God put me in a place to where I ended up moving to Vegas for a year, and I'll just say it ain't LA. For sure. But while I was there, man, literally in the desert, all my family was still here in LA, just me, lady, kids. We rode, and I ended up going to film school out there. And like you said, it was in a hiatus where we took from Sam 7, where we were going through emotional things and losing friends and things like that, that I ended up going to film school. And so when I went, I created this project, man, that I really didn't think was going to do anything, but I got a competitive spirit. So my professor was like, yeah, so whoever turns in the script, we'll let that be the class project. And the class project includes the whole class actually filming your project. And so I was like, all right, I could get a movie out of this. So I wrote the script, man, and lo and behold, it won out of like 6 or 7 different scripts within the class. So that's how I actually got this project done. The project is called A Seat at the Clock, and it's about 4 women, man, with 4 different stories who are looking to find their healing in time. What it is that they all have had losses in their life, and they all of different background, different ethnicities, and sitting at this table allows them to realize how much more they have in common than they actually thought. So it is in a film festival, October 11th, which will be in Las Vegas. It is up for award. Since I did it in school, it is eligible to be submitted for the student Emmys, which I'm really, really excited about. And then after that, we're going to drop it in some film festivals and see if we can get some funding for a feature.
Yeah, so we have a special surprise, but the only way you're going to find out about that special surprise is coming to the show October 25th. LOVE, we got a special surprise for you. So come out October 25th, Bristol Auditorium, 7 p.m. Get your tickets now. Sam 7, Leon Anderson presents Love, 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 leaning on various emotions. Y'all got to come out. So with that being said, before we're getting ready to get out of here, I'm glad to have everybody, and we're going to end on the trailer. Okay. So I believe is it to the Seat at the Clock?
It's a piece of A Seat at the Clock.
So we're going to end with the trailer.
View of it.
The first, I ain't never seen it, and I think he sent it to me. I still haven't watched because we've been so busy. Not like that, but man, we've been busy, man. I ain't even
we had a busy summer.
So we're going to end right here. We'll see you next week. Tune in. Young Voices Making Choices. Your boy Keena, Leon Anderson, Montoya Gabby, LOVE, Love, Sam 7 Productions. We out of here. Look at the film.
Apologies for my tardiness. It will not happen again. My name is Rose Middleton, and you three ladies have been assigned to a seat at the clock, a safe space opportunity for us to identify and heal. I ask that everyone is respectful of each other's moments. To get things started, why don't we start with you, Miss Jane Johnson.
Well, my name is Jane, and I'm here to talk about time. To me...
Apologies for my tardiness. It will not happen again. My name is Rose Middleton, and you three ladies have been assigned to a seat at the clock, a safe space opportunity for us to identify and heal. I ask that everyone is respectful of each other's moments. To get things started, why don't we start with you, Miss Jane Johnson. Apologies for my tardiness. It will not happen again. My name is Rose Middleton, and you three ladies have been assigned to a seat at the clock, a safe space opportunity for us to identify and heal. I ask that everyone is respectful of each other's moments. To get things started, why don't we start with you, Miss Jane Johnson.
Yo, y'all know how the devil work. He always trying to mess up some stuff. So we was having some technical difficulties. So what Young Voices is going to do, we're going to play a seat at the clock next Thursday. We're going to make sure it's working. The devil, you have no victory. You are defeated in the name of Jesus. We're going to get this out here. Sam 7 Productions, Leon Anderson, my cast. Shout out to Amanda and Aspen for holding it down for me today. Hey, we love y'all. We see y'all next week. Don't worry, Sam 7, we coming for y'all.
There it is.